Hello, welcome to the quick and definitely dirty presentation of Canvas Gradebook functionality. So I'm just showing on the screen here the basic learning outcomes. You should be able to do basic sorting, uh, understand other grade posting settings like automatic versus manual, gradebook versus individual student view, see how to import and export final or just grades at any point, and how to override a final grade. And so, admittedly, this is just a small subset of functionality that one can use in Gradebook, but probably a fairly common and important set of functionality nonetheless. Some important things, or some things that I saw that seemed important that I'm definitely not talking about, are use of groups in grading and use of this advanced feature learning mastery, which actually you have to kind of tie outcomes to student performance, and you get more information about how much students appear to actually be learning in the class. I guess that's important. A general limitation of this presentation is I only have one student in my class, and so a lot of the basic functionality is actually a little bit difficult to convey. So with that in mind, let's have a look here. So I'm actually just going to start in my practice course and show that I've made 3 assignments: an in-Canvas quiz, which I'll show you. This is just a quiz on world capitals. The next assignment is a hand-in paper assignment, so a Word document, 78-page paper about Brasilia, exciting stuff. And the last one is a discussion section talking about your experiences touring Brasilia. So these are just a range of different assignments that are pretty common that might show up in your gradebook. So I have graded each of these using the speed grader functionality, which I believe someone else will be talking about. But then if I want to see how my students are doing, I go over and I can look at the gradebook. So by default, I'm coming into the gradebook view, which is going to look familiar from Blackboard and show all of the students organized by student first or last name. I'm not sure because I only have one student, and all of the assignments that have even been created, regardless of whether they've been completed and regardless of whether they've been published. So as far as basic sorting goes, you have all the options here of ordering by IDs, by alphabetical, first last name. All the good stuff that you'd expect is pretty straightforward. You can sort by the grades, etc. Again, nothing will happen if I actually do this. So that's kind of the row-wise manipulation that you can do. As far as column-wise manipulation, which I actually think is even more interesting, you can arrange the columns. So we can have a default order, which is, I would assume, is by due date or by creation. Not entirely sure. But if you have a bunch of assignments, it might be nice to reorganize them based on alphabetical order. So you can see I've got my assessment first and my MGA I is last. Helps you find things, or maybe due date newest to oldest might be useful. It also, I think, is helpful to decrease clutter, having the ability to get rid of these unpublished assignments, these kind of maybe zombie assignments that you created but didn't actually decide to implement. So what else can we do in this spreadsheet view? Well, this is a good place to see about exporting your data. So if I clicked export here, it's going to send this out by default to a CSV file, and you can see that I open it here. And the one thing that I noticed here is it not only shows you the columns that you were showing in the gradebook, but it also shows you other unposted columns that may provide you additional information. Get rid of that. So beyond Gradebook view, you can also look at an individual view, which for some reason never works for me on the first try. I always do it twice. So you have some options. I think one of the interesting ones is hide student names. Maybe that will help you reduce bias in your grading. Sort by section will just show this particular course. And I will start with my one student. And the nice thing here is you can just kind of click through next to all the different students if you want to see or update grades, etc. We'll do that for this assignment so we can see, got the grade, can click and see the submission details, update the grade as needed, even move over to SpeedGrader and look at comments, etc. And a nice thing here is it helps you organize, it helps you kind of connect your thoughts about the grade to a message right here. So you can just say, there's some concern or something missing here. I'll just message from right here. Next assignment brings up the paper grade, etc. You get the idea. So I will go back to Gradebook view. Again, I will do it twice because that seems to be what it wants me to do. Oh, even more than twice this time. 3 times a charm. So other 2 things I wanted to show were the grade posting settings. So, sometimes I will start grading on a Tuesday but not finish until a Thursday. So I'd rather not post all of those grades, I'd rather not have them trickle out as I'm doing it. So you can set a grade posting policy to manually post grades. So, this requires a little more of you, but it might be helpful to avoid that trickle. I believe you can also do this on a per assignment basis, but not from the same window. The last thing I wanted to show you was the final grade override, but it turns out that I don't believe I have access to that functionality. There's supposed to be an advanced tab in here that allows you to override a final grade for whatever reason. You can see in this tutorial, there's the grade posting policy and then an advanced tab. I do not see that right now, but that's the idea. So that's what I have for you right now. I hope you learned something and have mastered the gradebook. Cheers.